Go, Q. Attaboy, G-Money.
Hi, it's Thomas Ellis Jr. here, and we're back with On the John, Week 2 edition. Let's see what John got on his mind after a nice week of competitive high school football. So let's go to John.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of On the John. First point is going to be the game of the week. There was 3 interesting games last week. There was first game in U.S. in Germantown. Germantown prevailed at home 28-23 in a good tight football game. Houston 21, Briarcrest 28, and a good fought back and forth battle in the second half of that one. And then the final game, is it basketball season yet? No, it's still football season. North Point 69, Brighton 74. My next point is going to be the takeaway of the week. Guys, I don't know if it's the officials yet or the penalties in the high school football game, but Germantown still won the football game with 18 penalties in the football game last week against MUS, where MUS only had 1. Could be lopsided, I don't know, but Germantown prevailed at home like we talked about in the past, and they prevailed at home with 18 penalties for the ball game. That's a lot of penalties for one game. Alright guys, my next point is my surprise of the week. I really thought both teams would be kind of competitive on both sides of the football due to Shelby County schools with Overton not playing last year and to Rosemark with the Division II class that they're in with the numbers by the roster size. Overton was up 14-7 at halftime, and they ended up winning the football game 56-22, and they kind of was competitive throughout the third quarter as well, and Overton just closed it out pretty much the whole fourth quarter and dominated against a good, decent Rosemark team. My next point is the players of the week. Let me first give Coach Adams and Coach Vogel and the whole defensive staff a lot of credit after week 1 losing the Innsworth the way they did 40-0, and then they bounced back against a good, decent Trinity Christian Coach Butler's staff, and they shut them out at home 48-0. And they held Trinity's offense to less than 100 yards in that one. Tucker White, the running back for ECS, 14 carries for 138 yards and 2 touchdowns for a long of 52 yards. Hey, the Covington O-line again prevailed against Jackson Northside, and they had 470 yards rushing in that one. Hey, we just talked about the game of the week. Brighton North Point. Let's give us a few players for Brighton a little shout out. Braxton Sharp, 21 carries for 284 for 6 touchdowns. And Nick Howell, 25 carries for 267, 4 touchdowns. And then Alex Wright from North Point. I know we don't cover them, but we gotta give them some love as well. Had a kickoff returns of 77 and 81 yards. And then Jack Patterson, their quarterback from North Point, 391 yards passing in that one. Guys, it's week 3 edition of high school football. To look ahead for this week, some interesting district matchups. Bartlett High School travels to Arlington. Innsworth out of Nashville travels to Christian Brothers. And then you got Brentwood Academy traveling to Briarcrest. Whitehaven travels to Germantown. And then you got White Station is now traveling on the road to Collierville. So guys, come out and support the kids. Watch some exciting football on Friday night, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week.
Hi, Thomas Ellis back, and we're going to look to week 3 and the week ahead, and let you know the new ranking for our Power 10. Coming in at number 10 in week 3 for the West 10 Media Power 10, Houston Mustangs. They got Cordova coming up, tough loss to Briarcrest. At number 9, ECS, like John said, great bounce back game, 48-0 over Trinity Christian. At number 8, Yeah, that's the basketball score that John was talking about. The Brighton Cardinals, after beating North Point 74-69. Whew, they got to catch their breath as a good Overton team is coming back to the area to see if they can take down those Cardinals. At number 7, MUS. They dropped for number 1 last week. Tough loss to Germantown, but Germantown's a quality team. Therefore, Germantown is number 6. You got to rank them ahead of them because they beat them straight up. And there are reports out of that game that Coach Robinson was ejected from that game. So if he was ejected from that game, he won't be there on the sideline for Whitehaven. At number 5, Bartlett, 2-0, solid start. Arlington is looking to take that perfect record and snap it after they picked up a quality win. Number 4, coming in this week, Briarcrest. Big win over Houston. Now, can they do it again with Brentwood Academy coming to town? Number 3, Collierville, 2-0. 2 big-time wins, big, huge point margin of victory has them at number 2. But they step into a quality opponent from Memphis at White Station, who took a tough loss to Memphis Central this week. And number 1, the Covington Chargers. And I thought I was going to get to see the Covington Chargers this week, but we got word from Millington that the game would be postponed, so we hadn't heard anything, would it be rescheduled or anything like that. But there will not be a game in Millington this Friday, so I guess I'll be looking for something to do. I might catch one of these other teams in our coverage area, but as we know, life has a way of being unpredictable. We just had Hurricane Ida this weekend. Thank God it's been downgraded to a tropical storm. So on behalf of John and myself, we send out our prayers to the people in Louisiana, along the Gulf Coast, and Alabama and Mississippi. We know they've been through a lot over recent years, and we just thank God that it's not as bad as it could have been, but we are sending our prayers to them for a speedy recovery, and we just looking forward to you being able to enjoy your teams down there for some high school football in safe conditions. But that wraps up week 2 of On the John, looking ahead to week 3, and we'll see you next week.